I'm Ashley Fetko.
And I'm Cayce Lynch.
We're millennials,
We're lawyers.
we're moms,
We're Swifties.
and we're best friends.
We are deep in the thick of paid working motherhood.
It's real, it's funny, and sometimes it's real funny.
But also, it's no joke.
It's the normal mess.
The normal mess.
The normal mess.
Nailed it. I think there are two things that have happened lately that I think mean I've now leveled up in motherhood, and I'm squarely into my 40s. Like I'm a 40-something mom now, and here are the two things.
Okay.
I treated myself by buying a very fancy composting machine for the kitchen, and I'm so excited about it. I have no idea. And the second is, we've been having some trouble with Big Bertha, the minivan. Like electrical stuff, like the doors aren't quite working. Anyway, I realized they're launching a redesigned minivan in 2027.
And you were excited by this.
And I'm like, oh my, should I splurge and get a new minivan?
Okay, what did we used to splurge on? Like what, tell me like in your 20s, like pre-mom, what would that have been for you? For
Like a
me, it was a lot of
purse?
Kate. I was just going to say, for me, it was a lot of Kate Spade.
Yeah, a purse. Like if I was like, go treat yourself. I loved Kate Spade. I'd go get a lot of Kate Spade.
I still love Kate Spade, though.
I do. And I still have a
mean,
lot of it. It's
me too.
Yeah. Our roadmap today, Ashley has some very strong feelings about Google she's about to share with us. Prepare yourselves.
Yeah.
Then we have another article. Dun, dun, dun. Another article.
Ooh, an
whether you
actual
like
drum
it.
roll.
I know, whether you like it or not. We have another article. This one was published in Fast Company. It was published on May 18th, 2026. It is trending. We're actually pretty close in time, Ashley. We haven't totally missed this trend. This is live, real-time trending.
Real-time trending.
The title is Corporate America is Crushing Senior Level Mothers. Here's how they're coping. And what's crazy about this to me, and we'll talk about it, is this in some ways feels just on the surface like the opposite of last episode, where we talked about how the highest earning women are thriving as mothers.
Right.
So yeah, really excited to dive into this article today. And then at the very end of our episode, we're going to wrap it up with some this or that questions that are kind of weird and funny and real.
Yeah, I like it.
Here we go. Talk to us about Google, Ashley.
Okay, so everybody knows that I am a very prolific and fastidious Googler.
I wish they did a Google Wrapped like they do a Spotify Wrapped, because you would be in the top 1% of Googlers.
I would. I Google the shit out of everything. Because I love research. I love
You love
to
being
know
prepared?
things.
You like
I
being
love being
informed?
prepared. Yes. I am breaking up with Google. So this is the end of perhaps my longest relationship.
Okay, you know what's really funny? We're going to talk about why you're breaking up in just 1 second, but I saw this meme the other day. It wasn't a meme, it was a reel of a woman saying that she told someone who is a member of Gen Z that she's older than Google, and Gen Z did not believe her. Like Google has always existed. So we're older than Google.
We're older than Google.
This is your longest running relationship, and it's coming to a tragic end. We need to raise a glass.
Yeah. I mean,
Tell us why.
Google has seen me through many eras of my life. Bad romantic decisions, pets dying, moving across the country. Lots of eras wrapped up in this relationship with Google. And I have to, it is not me, it is Google. Okay. You know how when people break up, it's like, it's not you, it's me. No, it's not me. I'm not the problem here. Google is the problem.
Okay.
Because as of mere days ago, Google transitioned into being a fully AI. How do I even say this? When you used to go to Google and you would type in, does a platypus have a tongue? Okay, or what? I've never Googled that. Okay, but for like whatever weird thing that you would go, Casey's gonna Google now. Platypuses do have tongues. Platypi? So you would Google is it multiple platypuses or platypuses or platypi? Okay, you would Google that. It would pull up like articles that you could click on and do your own freaking research and vet sources and identify, okay, well, this is just a random person who's, blabbing, whatever. Then for a while, it was like they'd give you like an AI generated summary. All right. Now that is the top,
before the
top.
Websites.
Correct. Now, when you Google, that is what comes up, and you can click out of it to go like find the rest of the sources. But they are moving toward only providing AI generated summaries of the internet in response to what people Google. I am not okay with this.
Googled.
Okay.
I have not been on Google in a couple days. Shocking to you, I know.
Yeah, I'm on Google.
So since this change, I have not Googled anything apparently. And I just Googled, what is the multiple of platypus? And a little pop-up came on the Google page with the results, and it says, learn complex concepts with AI mode. Get explanations you can verify using our most intelligent AI. And you can click continue or not interested. So this is a big moment. What do I click?
You click not interested.
Not interested. Now,
it's still going to try to shove. It's still going to try to shove AI drivel down your throat. However,
so it says AI overview at the top, like it has for over a year.
Yes.
And then it goes to your websites. And the first website, I don't even have to click on. It's Britannica Dictionary. And it says the plural of platypus is platypuses.
Okay. Not platypi.
Nope.
Okay.
I have to go on record as saying Ashley and I differ in our views of AI.
It's true. We do.
She just called it AI dribble. I am pro AI. I'm pro ethical use of AI.
Well, and I should say, like, I'm not opposed to AI in its entirety, but it has become, we are dangerously flushing ourselves down the toilet with AI. Okay, so last night Cayce texted me and she was like, with this article that we're going to go through with Fast Company, like this episode might be heavy. Are you going to like go on some rant about AI with this Google thing, or are you going to make it funny? Or like, is it going to be light? And I was like, I think I said like, it's going to be charming and effervescent and funny.
Yes.
I may have lied. This is not charming, effervescent, or funny. AI, if you are using AI to creatively or critically think, not only are you no longer creatively and critically thinking, you are contributing to the problem. You are literally rotting your brain. There have been studies done that I found on Google that
the non-AI Google,
the non-AI Google, that show that when people substitute AI for critical thinking, or they rely on AI too heavily, your brain literally starts to rot.
Have you seen that Stanford, no, it wasn't Stanford, it was UC Berkeley, has come out with very strong policies that as a student there, you are not allowed to use AI like at all.
I have not seen that. And but did you see that the Pope wrote it?
And the Pope wrote about it too.
The Pope wrote an encyclical about it. Love this Pope, man. Love him.
Yeah.
It just, and aside from the environmental issues where we're just like guzzling water to do what? It just like I'm so wildly concerned. It can be really, really helpful. It can be a helpful tool and like a helpful organizational buddy, for your ADHD brain to help you keep your lists, in order. Love that. That's great. but it cannot substitute for human thinking or caring or triaging sources of information. It just can't. And that's where we are. And you see it like when you go out into the world and you engage with other humans and you're like, hello, and you're having a conversation and you're just met with like the blank stare. I'm like, is your brain active right now? Or is it completely rotted and fallen out of your ears because you've just been on ChatGPT and using AI?
This is so extreme, Ashley. I have not had someone give me a dead stare and I'm like, I'm making the connection that your dead stare is because you've overused ChatGPT.
Well, and I don't know that, but but you see it everywhere now. And I
don't. I'm going on record. I do not see it everywhere now.
I see it everywhere. And I don't know. And it's like, and it's killing art. It's killing art. Like,
I have seen that artists are now asked to sign affidavits that they really did make what they just made. That it was them and not AI. Yeah, it's so important. Artists, like,
art is so important.
I hear a lot of your points. A lot of your points are very valid.
So Google,
let's
pack your bags,
the platypuses,
get out of my apartment,
and ethically engage with AI when and if we choose to do so.
Yes, and the way that I am choosing to ethically disengage is to break the F up with Google and tell it to is Ask Jeeves still a thing?
No,
I don't know.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. What are you going to use instead?
I have no idea.
Are you going to be binging things now?
I don't know. Does one bing things? I don't know. I have no idea.
You're going to come in this hot. You better have your backup source. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't. This is
I think my mom still has encyclopedias. I'm just going to get her encyclopedia
that hasn't been updated in 20 years.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to be operating from outdated information, but I will critically think and use my brain because I will be the only human being left with a brain inside of my skull, and I will use it to critically think.
Dun dun dun.
And you will pry that encyclopedia from my cold, dead fingers.
Okay.
Or the robots will, because the robots will have taken over. So.
You said it, not me, sister.
Okay, so that's it. Sorry, guys. I promised effervescence.
That was the opposite of effervescences.
It was the opposite. I'm sorry. It just really freaking scares me. So I got to find a new source.
Okay.
So I will report back.
Please report back. Fast Company just this last month published an article, Corporate America is Crushing Senior Level Mothers. And I want to give us an overview about what this article says, and high-level overview, and then I think we should dive into it a little bit. I know we have feelings. We have feelings and experiences to share about this. Okay. Subtitle is 100 plus women tell Fast Company how balancing motherhood and their careers has become increasingly fraught. Their clever fixes and why they're not enough to fix a broken system. Okay, here we go. Here's some stats. Last year, meaning 2025, Fortune.com published that men joined the workforce at 3 times the rate of women. 572,000 men versus 184,000 women. They published that in January 9th, 2006. While men are joining the workforce at 3 times the rate of women, more than 455,000 women left the workforce between January and August in 2025. Okay, and that was published in CNBC on February 2nd, 2026. Almost half of those 450,000 women who left the workforce cited caregiving as the reason why they were leaving the workforce. Lean In does an annual report with McKinsey's called Women in the Workplace. These are pretty famous when they come out every year. And they found that 60% of senior level women reported burning out compared with about 50% of men. Okay, I just want to pause right there because I've said a lot of stats and I'm not done yet. 60% of senior level women report burning out compared to about 50% of men. Okay, that's like a burnout epidemic.
Yeah.
I know women is 10% higher than men, And even men are burning out at a rate of 50%. That's a serious problem. I have some problems with phrases that are used in this article. Okay. If I can just say what my problems are. One is I have a problem with the term burnout, because I think everybody defines burnout in a little bit of a different way. And burnout is real. Like actual verified burnout is real. It's like a psychological, it can be identified as almost a diagnosis. I don't think it's in the DSM-4 or 5, but not that I know of. We should have asked a psychologist about this, but there are components of it psychologically that put you in an emotional and psychological state of burnout. Yeah. A lot of people go through a hard period of work for like a week and then go, I'm burnout. Okay, that's not burnout, people. That is not burnout. So if we're really talking about legit psychological, mental, physical burnout, this is a serious problem.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just like, people saying that they're triggered, or my personal favorite, because I am a migraine sufferer, when people get a headache and they're like, I just have this migraine. And I'm like, can you still see? Are you vomiting? Can you hear yourself? Are you walking? You don't have a migraine. Like a migraine is like a close cousin of a stroke. Are you there, or do you have a headache? I feel bad for you that you have a headache, but like, let's call it what it is. You have a headache, and that sucks, but it's not a migraine.
So I did not, like, these are people self-reporting they're in burnout. So I do think it needs to be taken a little bit with a grain of salt, because not everybody defines it the same way.
True, but we also know that people are also generally more unwilling to self-report major psychological issues such as depression, anxiety, etc. So maybe the over-reporting compensates for a little bit of the underreporting
in other areas. Yeah, it's like more safe and socially acceptable to say I'm burned out, because that's like externally focused versus I have anxiety or I'm depressed, which is internally focused. Yeah. Okay. Two researchers at Rutgers University found that caregiving strain is the largest predictor of burnout and leaving a job, especially among women who are 10 to 15 years into their careers. As I read that, it really struck me, because you and I are 10 to 15 years in our cares. That's our period. Don't you like, true. Right? When you say?
Yep.
Yeah, since we graduated law school and started working. Yeah.
Yep.
The introduction of this article kind of leaves this mic drop moment where the author says, the girl boss is out and the power pause is in.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
I got some feelings there. I know
we do. These are very real stats. And one of the things that really struck me when I read this article, because it came up, so I subscribed to Fast Company. I realized that, which is why so I was able to pull the article for subscribers only, because I get the daily or weekly newsletter that they send out. So it was there. I got it in my email inbox. Then I saw it on LinkedIn, and then I saw it on Instagram. And so it was in front of me 3 times.
Yeah.
And when it struck me, when I read this article, we were in the midst of preparing for recording our very last episode from the Wall Street Journal, the surprising lessons learned from the top 1% of female earners in America. And this really struck me as kind of the opposite of that. It's like, okay, well, if you're not in the top 1%, which is what? The 99% of the rest of us. Let's say you're in this bracket of you're a high performer at work, maybe you're an executive, maybe you're in middle management, like that sector of the population, I don't know, I'm just making up a number, I'm guessing, what is that, 25% of people, like in that kind of moving up into the higher ranks in corporate America? Like if you're there, it's almost like this article is reporting the exact opposite of what happens when you reach the top 1%. And I felt like, to be fair, on our podcast and with the timing of these articles coming out, like we needed to talk about both, because it's so nice to look aspirationally at the top 1% when in the reality, like demographically, I think you and I are the women in this Fast Company article.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
What's giving you pause?
Well, I don't know. I think I need to pull my thoughts together on it a little bit.
Okay.
My solution is maybe not a real solution. And so maybe that's what's giving me pause.
Okay.
Because I am, we're both solution oriented. Like as we've talked about, we're optimists. We're like, okay, is it really crushing us? Maybe. Can we get better? Yes, we can. How are we going to do it? We're going to dig in. Like, we're just going to try harder and work more and do the things. And we're going to do it, guys. Yay! That's like where I immediately want to go. And that's not actually That's not actually a helpful response. No. The other
just
thing
pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and keep going.
Right. Totally unhelpful. But the other part of it too is like, so much of this article and some of the quotes from some of the working mothers who answered the call that they put out on LinkedIn,
which we'll talk about. Can we say what that is? What the call was?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go back to just a second. So as part of publishing these statistics, Fast Company put out a call on LinkedIn asking senior level mothers how they were doing it and what hacks they were using. Hacks is the word that they use. And I have a problem with the word hacks. That's the second thing in this article I take issue with. But over 100 women wrote in talking about what hacks they're using to continue striving to thrive in this corporate structure. Would you say we're in corporate America, you and me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if I do say. I mean,
really?
I don't feel like I'm part of corporate America. But anyway, I'm
my friend. You are.
Okay. Corporate America that we find ourselves in. So when you read those, you had a reaction. What was your reaction?
I heard myself in them so much over and over. I mean, there's one woman who said, "Do other women have hobbies, rich social lives, enough energy enough to do much more than collapse into bed and scroll for a few minutes before passing out?" I have been there so deeply. I felt that in my bones. Another woman said something like, there is no hack. Just burn it down. The system needs to just be burned down. And I was like, yeah, like part of me is like, burn it down, like and so I don't know. Oh yeah, it says stop hacking the system and literally burn the system down. It does not work, clearly. That's Colleen Curtis, who is the head of community growth at Reddit. Colleen, I feel you, girlfriend. I have felt that same way. But I also think there's so much happening at this moment that's giving rise to this response and this reality among working moms at our stage of career building. And so much of that, in my mind at least, is cultural, not just what's happening functionally day to day.
Yeah. I agree with that. And one of the things that resonated, so there were a couple things in the article that resonated so much with me, and I hope will resonate with what we've talked about on The Normal Mess. So in season 1, I think one of our most listened to episodes was an episode called Power Moves. Mm-hmm. And what's incredible is in our podcast, we talked about how we need to reframe things that were maybe traditionally seen as too feminine or too weak or not suitable for work as showing up and doing it in a way where you're owning your power and you're stepping into it fully. And some examples we gave are like, I would pump, as I was a breastfeeding mother, I would pump off camera where you couldn't see anything, but I'm sure people could hear like the machine going, okay. A woman in the article, hold on just a second. Let me find her name so I can give her a shout out.
You're our hero.
You are our hero. Okay.
I found it.
Me too.
Shamim Noorani Gillani.
Yes. Shamim, you are our hero. Okay. She was looking for a place after her second child was born. She realized she wanted to work at a company that was more parent and mother and child friendly and supportive of the reality of being a paid working mother. And so through the interview process, much of which was remote, she actually paused in the middle of an interview and went off camera and said, "I'm sorry, I have a screaming child or screaming baby. I need to go get my child." And went and got the child, then came back, put on a nursing cover, turned on her camera, and continued interviewing for the position while she breastfed. Power move.
Shamim, I don't know you. We need to know you.
Incredible. Congratulations. And she gave a couple more examples in the article about what that interview process with this company was like, but she ended up picking that company and that company ended up picking her. And it's like, way to show up authentically, way to own the power move, reframe the power move, just like the fact that they realized that was your reality. And one of the things that Shamim says is, the feedback she got through the interviews is, wow, if she can handle this stage in her life and also send very thoughtful follow-up with us, it seems like she can handle our clients and can handle a large team. Ultimate power move.
Ultimate power move. And this is the solution in my mind. And I hate this. Like what I'm about to say, full disclosure, I hate. Because what feels like the solution to me is what you and I have done, which is just bulldoze your way in with the full authenticity and vulnerability of what it looks like to be a paid working mother. Just bulldoze the shit in. I'm sweary today. I went a couple of episodes without swearing.
It's back, baby.
It's back, baby. It's the breakup with Google that's doing it to me.
I know. You're on edge. Ashley's edgy
I'm on
today.
Edge. Because then it is, the system either bends around it or it doesn't. And in my experience, when it doesn't, that's when I've made my exit. Like, great, well, now I know, and goodbye, and I'm out. And then you find someplace else. The reason that that is what it's going to take to remake the system. And they highlighted a company in here called Cayce.
Yes. Okay. So have you, I have heard of Cayce. Have you heard of
I
don't own their product, but I have heard of them.
I hadn't. I Googled them. This was pre-breakup. I Googled Cayce.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word. Am I allowed to say what the product covers? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a body part.
We're not going to
Okay. It's our own podcast. I can say whatever the heck I want. Okay.
And I've already said shit like 5 times. So we're getting the explicit rating.
Okay. Cayce is a silicone nipple cover company where if you're wearing a garment where you can't wear a full bra for whatever reason, or you want an extra layer of protection, there's a silicone cover you can use. And this company, talk about being wildly successful. Okay.
Yes.
So I agree with you. I agree with you on so many fronts. The solution is that we need women to bulldoze their way through. However, it's not just bulldozing your way through when you're first starting out in your career. Right. It is women who have larger circles of influence bulldozing, and men who are also in those circle of influences bulldozing right alongside us.
Yes. And that's exactly what I was going to say, is if you're not, if you are not standing shoulder to shoulder with other allies who may not have the same life experience as you, but who occupy a position of power, leadership, visibility, influence to bulldoze through those barriers with you, that can be nearly impossible. And I want to say too, and that because I'm going to lose this thought if I don't say it, and then I want to come back. The other reason that I hate that as the solution is that it puts so much onus on us, on the woman who's already. The point of this article, there's a line that says, here, let me find it, that talks about the intensification of work and the intensification of parenting. Here we are. Senior level mothers are caught in a two-way trap, the intensification of work and the intensification of parenting. I felt that sentence in my bones. So to say, like, well, now you have this added, let's pile it on. You got this added responsibility to bulldoze and make it better for everybody else who comes next and for yourself. That feels wildly unfair. And it's not really fair to say, well, if you're just not in a company that supports that, leave. Go find another job, which I've given that advice before. If you don't have another option,
I know.
That's not really
It might not
helpful.
be viable. I know.
It might not be
a
viable.
viable solution. I know.
Right.
One of the things that gave me hope, though, because I agree with you, it's not really fair to look at the women who are already carrying so much. And when Ashley says intensification of motherhood, she's talking about there are statistics around the expectations of performing work outside of traditional 8 to 5 work hours has changed, particularly, especially since COVID, but in the last couple years, it's intensified. And the studies about how our generation, let's say millennials, compared with the generation, our parents' generation, mostly boomers, millennials are spending over an hour a day more with their children than the previous generation did. So is that what you mean by intensification with those statistics? There's so much more pressure on both fronts.
There's so much more pressure on both fronts. But even, like I told Ash that this summer I want to give our kids a 90s summer. I'm all on this like 90s kick. I miss the celebrities from the 90s and I miss like 90s summers.
Do you want to get one of those tin can phones so our kids can call each other?
Yes, let's do. I just got chills. It's so easy to give me chills, apparently. Yes, let's do that. I love that.
What a fun summer idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I mean when I say I'm crying.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe I just gave myself chills again.
I just interrupted you with a gasp.
I know. But what I mean when I say that is like, there is so much more expectation on us as parents and as mothers now, I think, than there was when our moms were mothering. That's not a reflection of our mother's generation at all. I think they had it right. Like over and over again, I've been like, as I've talked to my mom about things that I'm stressing about or like venting to her about feeling like I'm failing and I'm coming up short on all these ways. She's like, what are you talking about? Like she said to me, like, I'm so glad I didn't have like social media, that pressure, because that's not real. Like, it's not real. What you see on social media is not real, and it impacts your view of yourself. I think that mom guilt has always been a thing, but the extent, depth, and intensity of mom guilt now, because we have all of this information at our fingertips, for better or worse.
And because so much more is visible on the internet.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad I asked you this question, because it is those stats, and it's also the society, the social framework we find ourselves in right now.
Yes. So now can we talk about the cultural stuff that I think is going on too?
Yes.
So this phrase, the girl boss is out and the power pause is in. I want to slap that phrase in its face.
Say more.
I hate that. Maybe it's because we came of age in the era of like the girl boss, and it was like everything, and that felt really empowering to me as like, I'm girl bossing it. Like I don't know why I don't.
It's almost like it's a bad word, right? Like a dirty word.
It
right
is
now.
A bad word right now.
It's been canceled.
It has been canceled. It's that you girl boss too close to the sun. Like
Yes.
it's that again, Taylor Swift. Where it's like, why is that a bad word? Why is girl bossing out? If it's out because, and I want to talk about like the women who are not entering the workplace or the women who are entering the workplace and then leaving. Mm-hmm. If stepping away or not stepping in is a decision rooted in honoring your goals and what actually feeds your soul and brings you happiness, Incredible. Incredible. I think that's the whole point. That's the point, is like to be able to make that choice. That's the point. If it's out though, because I'm just going to say it, and maybe we edit this part out. Our culture is newly re-obsessed with the idea of trad wives or traditional values that put the onus for the household squarely and exclusively on the shoulders of a woman in a heterosexual relationship. And with that comes this polished, unattainable, false aesthetic of domestic perfection and serenity. And that cultural trend, I worry, is fueling this, what they've branded the power pause.
Oh, I have so much to say here. I want to add that if girl bossing is merely performative and is competitive women versus women and is not creating a culture where women feel like at any stage in their life they have the support they need to succeed and be fulfilled in their job, then I think girl bossing should be out, because that's not what girl bossing means to me.
Agreed.
I don't have a problem with women choosing to leave the workforce because they want to be present for their children's upbringing and they come back. I don't have any problem with that at all.
Yeah, neither do I. I support that for them.
Yes, completely. That's a personal choice. That's based on
That's a choice.
whether it's a traditional value or not. That's your value system, and that's what you and your spouse have chosen is right for your family. 1,000% go do that. And if that fulfills you, that's where you need to be, if that's what you're called to be. At the same time, just what you said about the perfect aesthetic, really unattainable standard of perfection in the home that then gets set. Whether you stay at home 100% of the time or not is not fair to any woman in how she chooses to mother. I have very close friends who are stay-at-home mothers. They work just as hard as you and I do.
Without a doubt.
And I think the psychological toll that takes on mothers who choose to stay at home or need to stay at home needs to be acknowledged, because at least like going to work is not a break for you and me, but it does give us a huge psychological benefit to being able to flex our creative brain in a lot of ways, challenge ourselves intellectually because we're not using AI, and engaging with a ton of other adults who are in the professional sphere. So
not having the constant somebody's constantly depending on you for
constantly the toll that takes on your body and your mind and all the things. So I think that the trad wife movement is it's really hard for every mother, because of course there's no way you and I can live up to that standard, but it's like, but if you work from home all the time, you can. No, you can't. That is not fair. So anyway, I don't know how I got off on this topic with you, but
and I guess we should maybe define this or clarify what we mean.
What is a trad wife?
A trad wife, I'm going to have to freaking Google a good definition here. I know Google.
The way I understand
We're on a break.
We are on a break. We were on a break.
We were on a break. Okay, so here's what Wikipedia says. Okay, a trad wife is a member of an internet subculture made up of women who promote traditional gender roles, often on social media. It emerged within the early 2020s to describe creators and has become a distinct movement or subculture. It's basically a mashup of traditional and wife.
Trad wife.
So trad wife.
If you just go and and search it on social media, you'll see a lot of perfectly curated, gorgeous women. And then everything about the home is perfectly organized, perfectly clean, perfectly curated, with perfect crafts and perfectly organized garages and pantries and all the things. They also seem more affluent. When a trad wife comes across my feed, it's very affluent. It's not on a budget. Wait, okay, there are two things I want to do here. I want to go to the solutions because that's where I was headed on this, and I want to get your feedback on it. And then I do want to talk about the concept of hacks. So this company Cayce is doing on a grand scale what I pray and hope we are doing on a much smaller scale at the law firm that we work at. So Cayce was started by a mom after she had her second child. So she left the workforce after her first child because the cost of childcare was just so substantial. It did not make financial sense for them. While she was, quote unquote, out of the workforce, she actually didn't stop working at all and started a company called Cayce with her sister, named Cayce, by the way. I just have to throw that in there.
I know.
And they make, and as I mentioned, they make the silicone nipple covers. When her second child came in 2024, she had sufficient childcare. The company was successful. She was in a different financial situation, and she didn't stress about having the childcare and support she needed to return back to work after her maternity leave. It was an incredibly different maternity leave experience for her. As she and her sister started the company, they realized, like, what can we do as we create this company to make it a place where working mothers really thrive? And so here are some of the things that they've done. Okay. Cayce started offering employees a $3,000 a month childcare stipend for each child under the age of 5.
It's incredible. That's incredible.
What?
I know.
They also have a employee handbook that meticulously outlines what a parent-friendly work culture looks like in practice. They say the core hours are 9:30 to 3 and in that employee's time zone. And during that time, everyone should be reachable and meetings may be scheduled. Outside those hours, employees are empowered to structure their time around real life. It talks about normal responsiveness, which is respond to Slack messages within 2 hours, emails within 24 hours, and Wednesdays are protected time with no meetings for anyone in the company. It says in the handbook, kids can unexpectedly appear on Zoom, and parents are allowed to turn their camera off while managing a little one in the background. When parents come back from parental leave, they receive a 30, 60, 90-day re-entry plan tailored to their role, and their manager checks in, has a protocol for this, up to the first 3 months back. And the policy, and I think a lot of the policies here were created when the two women who started the company are like, what would I would have wanted, and what can we put in place? Now, what really, really drove home the effectiveness of this is, since they started offering the $3,000 a month childcare stipend per child, by the way.
Right.
The company has seen a 10% increase in revenue and had 0% attrition rate. And the company went viral. At the moment, the team is 87% female and 58% of them are mothers.
Yeah.
Their sales revenue for 2025 was $95 million. That was up 240% year over year. This year, 2026, it's on track to make $120 million.
Yeah.
These policies work.
They do.
These policies
Number one,
work.
you know who gets shit done?
Working moms. Any
Working
mom.
moms. Any mom. Moms get shit done. Number one. Number two, these policies work. And this is when I say that in my mind, the solution is like just bulldoze the hell through the walls. This is what I'm talking about, is like, it almost speaks to, I forget what episode it was recently where we were talking about like the paper dolls. Remember how I was talking about like the
paper doll
male paper
cutouts.
dolls?
Yep.
It's that same idea of like, if nothing's ever going to change if nothing ever changes. So force your way through and up to change those things, which I acknowledge there's a tremendous amount of privilege that's deeply rooted in what I'm saying. I acknowledge that.
Yeah. I also want to acknowledge that not every company has the luxury of putting these kinds of policies in place like ours. So for example, we are a law firm. We are a private law firm. We are a litigation law firm. We are at the disposal of the court system and our clients. There are expectations there. We have ethical obligations. We can be disbarred if we miss too many deadlines and you stop showing up for your clients. So where a lot of people have chosen to implement 4-day work weeks. Okay, well, until the judiciary moves to a 4-day work week, unfortunately, I think we're stuck with a 5-day work week. There's also this expectation on the part of our clients who are being sued that when they reach out to their lawyer, they want to hear back from their lawyer. So to go 24 hours without responding to a client, that's really, really long. They deserve that level of service. We're in a service-based industry. So as far as we can go with the margins that we have and all of these things, I do feel like we're moving to a place where through our, productivity first, allowing every single person in the firm to work from home, to give people the flexibility to take time off when they need to take that time off, the maternity and paternity leave we have, the return to work maternity mentorship program we've put in place. I feel like in the confines of what we're able to do in our industry, we're doing it. And I would love to see it go further. But how have we made those changes? As soon as we had the sphere of influence, we started bulldozing. And then the men said yes and grabbed a bulldozer. They got their certification to drive a bulldozer too, because men can drive bulldozers too. I don't know if you knew that.
They can?
They can.
That's so cute.
I
Love
know,
that
right?
for them.
Final topic is hacks. And I know we're so far in, but I hate the term hacks in motherhood.
I do too. Why do you hate it?
Because it makes it seem like if you just do this one little thing, it'll solve everything. It'll make everything easier. If you just keep working hard enough and finding the right hack, and the reason it's so hard is because you're doing everything wrong and there's actually this top secret solution to it that if you just knew it, you would be fine.
That's why I hate it.
Okay.
That latter part there, because it's I've had people tell me well, just get up earlier. Here's a hack.
Oh my God. Just
get up earlier.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm I was up all night the night before and I'm already waking up at 5.
Right.
When do I sleep?
I know.
I'm still human. That's not a hack.
It's not
actually a hack.
That is not a hack. Is there anything you've done in your motherhood that you think might be a hack that has made things a little more easy and doable for you?
I don't know if this is really a hack, but it is a tip that when my children are particularly squirrely or their normal level of squirreliness is causing me to unravel, put them in grass or put them in water.
Oh, wow. That's a great tip.
I don't know. Again, it's not a time-saving hack or because I hate that and none of them ever actually work. I cannot on Sunday make all of our meals for the next week.
Thank you for saying that
Stop
so much.
Stop coming at me with that.
Stop the meal prepping.
Stop
I don't want
the
a meal
prepping.
prep.
I need to maybe
that sounds like my worst, besides marathon training, meal prepping is my worst, sounds like my nightmare.
I want no part of that. I'm going to go to the zoo with my children instead. Okay.
For 3 hours.
For 3 hours. I'm going to go enjoy the monkeys. Okay. I'm not going to frickin' meal prep. It's,
but some women swear by it. I got to give you props. If that works for you, great. Stop pushing it.
Stop pushing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to do it. Back up off me. No, I'm not. Also because whose children eat the same thing?
Every day. I know.
Every day. My kids will be one day obsessed with tilapia, cannot get enough of this fish. So then I'm like, great, we found the thing. This is a great way. The next day they're like, I've never liked that.
Mama, I don't like cucumbers anymore. When that was the only vegetable she liked for months.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't like it anymore.
That is
okay.
Whose children are like, yeah, cool, I'll eat the same.
No.
I'll like the same chicken. I'll like the same. That's not real. And it's not a hack. So I don't know if like put them in grass or put them in water is an actual hack, but I do think that maybe it gets at like a bigger approach that you and I have talked about, which is this. I am never going to sacrifice my mental health and presence with my children for the sake of having a cleaner house.
Same. Yep. That if
I don't care.
anything's going to go, it's going to be the cleanliness of my house and the organization of my house before it's me losing time with them to clean that thing.
Right. Before it's my happiness with them. This is as much as this is their childhood, it's also my motherhood.
That's so, you are the second person to say that to me this week. That means I needed to hear it. Thank you. That's so beautiful.
I'm not going to spend it, like I'm not going to spend it with guilt and anxiety and like I have enough of that. And I like every day I have to like talk myself down to like get back down. Maybe I need to put myself in grass or water too. You know what I mean?
And then join them.
Like put them in grass and water and then also do the same thing. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have any hacks? Do you have any
This
tips?
might be, okay. It actually might be a little bit of a hack, classified as a hack. Someone told me early in motherhood, and it's worked really well for me. It's like, look, there is going to be a period of your life where you need to abandon the rules that you grew up with on where things go. And what she meant is like underwear doesn't have to belong in a drawer in a dresser in someone's room. She's like, think about your routine in the morning and store everything where it is most convenient, most efficient to get that thing done with the least amount of pushback and like get out the door. And so I know we talked about for you how much you hate being late, and I didn't want to come in hot with solutions in that moment for you. But like you talked about, and I know like you bring them down, they eat, and then they go back upstairs. So once my children come down from their room, we are in the kitchen living room area until we are out the door. There is no going back upstairs. They have 2 sets of toothbrush and toothpaste, one upstairs for bedtime, one downstairs in the morning to the closest bathroom to the kitchen. Their shoes, their socks, their underwear, and their jackets are kept in like fabric baskets behind our couch. When they come down, I'm grabbing the clothes they're going to wear the day. I know you lay them out the night before. I grab them. I put them downstairs. They eat. They get dressed. Their hair stuff is in my kitchen cabinet, like because I pull it down as after they're done eating and I do their hair. So I know there is going to be a day when they're able to do all these tasks for themselves, and then I can say, go up to your room and get dressed and come back, or go brush your hair and come back. But I still have to do most of it for them. So yeah, when you come over to our house, we have baskets behind the couch of, I'll take a picture of them. Yeah, that's their underwear and their socks and their jackets and their swimsuits and those things that we use. And I know it won't always be that way, but it saves a lot of time, like running back up and down the stairs and waiting and carrying a screaming child and all those things. So
yeah,
if your daughter chooses to become a mother one day and she chooses to work outside the home, which studies show she is more likely to do because you work outside the home.
It's true.
What do you hope is different for her than what we're experiencing now?
I would hope that the world is either less judgmental of her and her motherhood experience, and or that she is better insulated to protect herself from that judgment.
That's so good. That's so good. One of the things in the article at the very end, it talks about how cultural inflexibility inside the workplace comes because we don't have federal and state norms where parental leave is paid and people are expected and encouraged to go take that leave. And that if the government would take the step first and set this as an expectation that's normalized and encouraged and supported for people of all economic levels, that then companies would follow suit.
Yeah.
So whether it comes, and I don't quite have an opinion on that. I would say whether the cultural shift comes because the government takes a more strong, supportive approach of it, or companies who are leading the way right now continue to do it and it continue to take on, like in another 25 years, I'm really hoping that, and maybe I'm saying the exact same thing as you, is that I'm hoping it's so much, of course you're taking maternity leave. Of course you're coming back. Of course you're getting the exact same raise this year or more than last year, even though you took leave this year. Like, I hope it's just around those things, you know, and that she feels so structurally and culturally supported in her choices. And then I also hope on a more personal level, that's like a structural answer. And on a more personal level, I do hope that her self-talk is a little more gentle than the way I talk to myself.
Yeah.
To where she doesn't beat herself up as much as I do sometimes. And I think every generation probably beats themselves up in their own way, you know, and has their own worries.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah. All right. Final question before our fun game. If a working mom is listening right now from her car, feeling like she's failing at everything, like, hello, been there, what would you want her to know?
I am going to read something that I posted on our TikTok. So, to that mom who is sitting in her car feeling like she's failing, you are not a bad mom. It's just that we were never designed to live in overwhelm with no village.
Amen. I love that. I love that.
That kind of sums it up. Also,
really
I want to
does.
give you a hug.
I know. Come
We've
be
all
our
been
friend,
there.
please.
Yeah.
All right, let's play a fun game. This or that.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's end on a happy note. All right. Answer for yourselves as you're listening. Okay. These questions were on Instagram. This was a post where someone said, rage baiting my coworkers with daily whiteboard questions. So apparently this person would write these questions on a whiteboard in their office, and which tells you someone was working from an office, not working from home in this company. Anyway, and people would go put tally marks underneath like one of the two options. So here we go. How would you answer this? All right. You're at a gas station and the pump says, see cashier. Are you staying or leaving?
Leaving.
Leaving. Yep.
I'm out of there, baby. That happened to me the other day, and I was like, no, immediately no.
Yeah.
New gas station.
It was hands down leave. Only 2 people said stay.
That makes me feel better. Yeah.
If animals could talk, which would be the rudest? Don't pick platypuses.
Platypi. Which would be the rudest? Oh, man. A cat.
Oh, yeah.
Cats would be judgmental AF and be like, I don't care that you came back.
Oh,
yeah, you came back from vacation. I don't care.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm going to go.
What do you think?
In my mind, the first thing that came to mind is a honey badger.
Oh my God, that's such a throwback. Do you remember that? Like, the honey badger don't care. Do you remember that meme?
Yes.
Honey badger don't give a shit. Yeah.
All right, here we go. What is your go-to gas station snack?
Cheddar jalapeno crunchy Cheetos.
Oh, of course, hot Cheetos. Of course, you're picking
Hot Cheetos, but not the hot Cheetos.
Flamin', not the
flamin', which I like, but there's a better flavor with the cheddar jalapeno.
Okay.
What about you?
Gummy worms.
Worms. Okay.
I like worms better. It depends on the brand. If they don't have the brand I like, which I don't even know, I just know what it looks like. If they don't have it, then I'm going with gummy bears. But if all things being equal, I like a worm better than a bear.
Okay. Noted.
Okay. Is cereal a soup? Yes or no?
No.
No.
No. That's unhinged to even suggest that.
I know, right?
That's insane.
Which is correct? Toilet paper over or toilet paper under?
Over. My mom does under. And so whenever I'm at her house, I reverse it. I go in and I flip it around. It makes her crazy. She like has stopped saying anything about it. But I just like, whenever I'm there, I'm like, oh, turning it around. Over.
Oh my gosh. What a doozy of an episode today, Ash.
That was a journey. I'm sorry it was not effervescent.
Not at all. Until
effervescent.
Until we got to talk about gummy worms.
Then that was effervescent.
Yeah. Appreciate you all so much. Hang in there with us week by week, coming at you weekly here on The Normal Mess. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. The Normal Mess podcast is created, edited, and produced by us.
To keep up with The Normal Mess, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
To help us grow the Normal Mess community, leave us a rating and a review. If you'd like a piece of this normal mess, just reach out.
Our email is thenormalmess@gmail.com, and you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at thenormalmess. This podcast has forced me to confront myself.
No. Okay, can I tell you how I've confronted myself?
Yes.
Because of this podcast? I feel like I might be one of these people who, when I'm deep in explaining something, I just pick synonyms of different big words and I say the synonyms like over and over again.
I have
Instead
not
of
noticed that.
actually picking the big word or the right word that means what I want it to mean and moving on through my explanation.
I have not observed this.
All right, well,
about you.
Now you're hyper aware.
Now I'm going to pay attention to it.
And now you're like, Cayce, stop with
the big words. My way that I have confronted myself is that I go,
I know, and I love it. Don't change it, please.
I get chills. Like I love
that. Don't change it.
Like, but it's to the point where like when I hear it back, I get chills again. Like I give myself chills and I'm like, what? Cool it. Like not everything is gasp worthy.
Yes, it is for us. This is our podcast. We can gasp for whatever the heck we want to gasp
We can gasp if we want to. And even when I
don't
don't want to.
If we want to. We can leave our troubles
gasps
behind.
away. And if you don't gasp, then you won't gasp.
And then you're no friend of mine. I don't know the words.